Hello students, welcome to NeetWorld. We are here to discuss you the most unique strategy for the NEET examination 2025. This is your chemistry faculty.
So hi everyone, I am Ajay Pula and I am your chemistry faculty for this particular crash course.
Yes, this is your zoology faculty.
Yeah, hi guys, this is Ramesh Patel. I am dealing with subject zoology.
And this is Chaitanya ma'am. She will be dealing you the physics strategy on cracking the NEET 2025. So let us look into the subject-wise topics and strategy, and let us also discuss the weightage of each chapters. Yes. So if you look into the botany, in botany, let us look into the chapter-wise weightage. When you look into chapter-wise weightage, the first and foremost unit you have to focus is cell biology, wherein you have from cell the unit of life, it is around 10% of the weightage you have. And if you look into the biomolecules, it is also approximately 10% weightage of the questions will be covered. Next, cell cycle and cell division, around 14 to 15% of the questionnaire will be covered in your exam. So the first chapter to be focused is cell biology. Later, it is plant physiology need to be focused, wherein here we have 3 chapters, that is photosynthesis in higher plants, where you have approximately 14% weightage. Next, respiration in plants, approximately 10%, then plant growth and development, 7% of the weightage. So first what you have to focus beta, first it is cell biology, next it is plant physiology. Thereafter focus on the core botany topics, where you need to keenly look into the examples under each topic of the chapter, and the chapters to be focused are biological classification, plant kingdom, morphology and anatomy, which has almost equal weightage, where you have to give little more importance for plant kingdom. This is about NCERT 11. Now if you look into NCERT 12, chapter wise weightage from botany, where we deal here will go as such. First and foremost importance you have to give for genetics, where you will be giving most of the importance to principles of inheritance and variation chapter. Then it is molecular biology, which is said to be molecular basis of inheritance. Once you are done with this unit, that is genetics, then you have to focus on sexual reproduction in flowering plants, wherein most of the statement based questions will be asked. Thereafter, you have to focus on biotechnology, principles and applications as well. This is from the botany part of the biology, where we are dealing here. Yes, if you look into the topic wise weightage and the pattern of the topics you have to choose from each chapter, from biological classification, you have to focus more on the topic fungi, virus, viroids and prions and protista as well. This doesn't mean that you have eliminated these chapters, but these topics, but you have to give more importance to protista, fungi, virus, viroids and prions. And you have to also look into Monera systems of classification as well, like 2 kingdom, 3 kingdom, 4 kingdom, 5 kingdom system of classification. Then comes the chapter plant kingdom. In plant kingdom, the most focused topic is algae and gymnosperms. When we look all the previous year questions, mostly asked from algae, gymnosperms and then bryo and pterido also. So these are the topics you have to focus from plant kingdom. Clear beta? Next chapter, that is morphology of flowering plants. Here the challenging area is to remember the examples. We have a great set of mnemonics, very funny mnemonics, where you can remember all the examples easily just like that in your mind. And here we need to focus on the vegetative characters and its modification, then inflorescence, most importantly flower, based on the position what classification is there, and based on the symmetry whether it is actinomorphic, zygomorphic and its examples as well. Then definitely mostly the questions are asked from aestivation and placentation and its examples, mostly in the form of match the following. Then about fruit and seed, then families. For this 2025 it is most confusing actually, but we need to focus on these families. What we have to focus in these families? The floral formula, floral diagram and the examples from the families, where you have to focus on Leguminosae cruciferae, which is already there in the previous syllabus of NEET, and then Malvaceae compositae graminae, which is included from the previous year. This also you have to focus. For this we have everything in our PDF in the tabulated form. Okay. Next, anatomy of flowering plants. In this, if you divide this chapter into 3 criteria, that is tissues, tissue systems and dicot monocot plants. Under tissues, you have to focus on meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. Most of the times the questions are asked from the tissues. Statement based questions are also asked. Next, it is tissue systems. Thereafter you have to focus on dicot monocot, differentiation of root, stem and leaf. Most of the times asked question from this area, dicot and monocot, root, stem, leaf. We have clear cut differentiation and mnemonics to remember this as well. Next, the topics to be focused from Cell the Unit of Life. We have discussed, right? The topmost unit from NCERT 11th biology. Under botany you have to focus first is cell biology. Under that the first chapter is Cell the Unit of Life, where we have these many topics, but most frozen areas where you have to choose this. This is the definite area of the asking questionnaire is endomembrane system, and from double membrane bound organelles it is from the nucleus. Most of the times questions are asked, and match the following types of questions are asked, like about different shapes of the chromosomes, where the centromere is located among the shapes of the chromosome. As such the questions are asked, and you have to focus on the cell membrane, plasma membrane, fluid mosaic model, and these are the topics need to be highlighted. From ribosome, which is non-membrane bound organelles, also questions have come. Centriole, statement based questions have come when we look into the previous year papers. So this is about Cell the Unit of Life chapter. Next chapter, if you look into biomolecules, definitely there will be a question from the enzyme action and the graph of the enzyme action. About the activation energy, transition energy questions will be asked. And from the biomolecule structure and functions, where you need to focus on these biomolecules for sure. Carbohydrates, proteins, lipids and nucleic acids. Don't get scared looking into this chapter. This is the most challenging chapter for most of the students, but here we make it very easy and equally divided, giving you all the frameworks for all the topics of this chapter. Okay, need not to worry with that. Next, cell cycle and cell division. Here you need to focus on the prophase 1 of meiosis for sure, and the concepts or the formula where you need to focus, which is linked with the anatomy or sexual reproduction of flowering plants, and the ploidy of that will be asked. It can be linked with plant kingdom also. Along with ploidy, the numerical questions are asked linking with the topic of meiosis and mitosis. Okay, so from cell cycle, mitosis and meiosis, what you need to focus more you have to focus on prophase 1 of meiosis, and from meiosis only most of the times the questions are asked. It doesn't mean you should not look into these topics. This is most important is what I am saying. Next, from plant physiology, the very first chapter is photosynthesis in higher plants. Definitely the questions are asked in the subsequent years. If you see, from non-cyclic photophosphorylation, chemiosmotic hypothesis, and any one of these cycles, either it can be C3, C4, CAM or C2 cycles, that is photorespiration. And statement based questions are asked from factors affecting photosynthesis. This is also a bit challenging for you people, but we will make it very easy. Okay, so yes, factors affecting photosynthesis, you have to look into it, and statement based questions are asked from this area. Clear beta? From live reaction you have to focus on non-cyclic photophosphorylation. If you look into chloroplast and pigments, the graphs need to be highlighted are absorption spectra and action spectra. Clear beta? Next, here if you see respiration in plants, both from anaerobic respiration and aerobic respiration, the common thing is glycolysis. Most importantly, you have to focus on the bioenergetics of glycolysis also. And when you are considering anaerobic respiration, fermentation, be it alcoholic fermentation or lactic acid fermentation, you have to look into it. And then TCA cycle, ETS, which is very important, all the 4 complexes, and which is the transport electron, and what is the bioenergetics of each step in the aerobic respiration need to be focused. At the end, amphibolic pathway and respiratory portion. So all the topics from the respiration in plant are highlighted, students. Next, plant growth and development. Firstly, you have to focus on seed germination, whether it is epigeal or hypogeal based on the examples also. Then phases of plant growth, most importantly differentiation, dedifferentiation and redifferentiation have to be learned in linkage with anatomy also. In anatomy, as secondary growth is deleted now, but then please look into it because this concept is connected with the secondary growth of the anatomy. Next, plant growth regulator, whether it is plant growth inhibitor or plant growth promoters like auxin, cytokinin, gibberellins, ethylene, and finally ABA, which is plant growth inhibitors. You have to look into the structure, functions and the applications of all these phytohormones. Mostly asked questions. Mostly you will get match the following questions, wherein in the one column he will be giving you the hormone, in the other column he will be giving you a statement related to the function of the hormones. Okay. Next, if you look into NCERT 12, as we have discussed, the firstly looking chapter or the unit is genetics. Thereafter you have to look into sexual reproduction of flowering plants. Under sexual reproduction of flowering plants, you have to focus on pre-fertilization events, where you have to look into the formation of male gametophyte and female gametophyte. How many meiotic divisions are happening, how many mitotic divisions are happening, and what is the site of mitosis, what is the site of meiosis. Everything you have to focus from pre-fertilization events. Next, pollination, outbreeding devices. Later on you have to focus on the double fertilization of angiosperms. Then you have to look into post-fertilization events, where you have to focus on endosperm development, embryo development, seed formation. Clear beta? Then unique features like apomixis, parthenocarpy and polyembryony are also to be highlighted. Statement based questions are mostly from this area. Clear beta? Next, other chapter which is important, that is principles of inheritance and variation. Mostly you will get numerical based questions from this area, where you have to focus on both monohybrid, dihybrid cross. You have to learn this in the objective perspective. And then deviations, Mendelian's laws of inheritance. Thereafter you have to focus on the deviations of Mendelian principles, where you need to learn most clearly about the concepts like incomplete dominance, codominance, pleiotropy, polygenic inheritance and multiple allelism. Clear? Next, here if you see thereafter, chromosomal theory of inheritance given by Sutton and Bovary, this also to be highlighted. Statement based questions have appeared, and linkage and recombination numericals are also asked from this area. Thereafter focus on sex determination. This is asked with respect to the examples, whether it is following male heterogamy or female heterogamy or based on the ploid it is coming, and its examples need to be highlighted. Thereafter Mendelian disorders, whether it is autosomal, allosomal. Here pedigree analysis also will come into picture. Next, chromosomal disorders. Okay, Mendelian disorders and chromosomal disorders like Down syndrome, Klinefelter syndrome, Turner syndrome need to be focused. Thereafter, molecular basis of inheritance, which is the most challenging chapter for most of you students, but here we will make it much simpler. Okay, firstly you have to focus on structure of DNA and RNA, then DNA packaging, central dogma, where you have to learn about replication, transcription, translation, both in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Then you have to look into genetic code. Thereafter gene expression, where you have to clearly learn the Lacoperon model. Then mostly theoretical statement based questions are asked from Human Genome Project and DNA fingerprinting. Then finally, if you look into microbes in human welfare, hardly one question appears from this chapter, where you have to look into the theory concepts and the examples. What sort of microorganisms are used for household products, industrial products, sewage treatment and biogas production. And you have to look into biocontrol agents and biofertilizers as well. Now comes the topic of biotechnology and its principles, then applications. Here definitely the question will be from rDNA technology for sure, either rDNA technological processes or its application. Then the question can also be appeared from the vectors also. Here in the applications, which biotechnological applications are used with respect to agriculture, where you have to learn the BT crops. Then for medicine, applications for medicine, you have to look into human insulin, vaccine production and gene therapy. Then you have to also learn the transgenic animals. So in our app called NeetWorld, which is also said to be MedWorld, all the content and the PDFs are available, and our lectures with respect to those topics are also available. So what are you waiting for? Go to Play Store, just install the app MedWorld and you can access all these important topics. Now Chaitanya ma'am will be coming and ma'am will be dealing with the NEET strategy of physics. Please ma'am.
Yes. Hi students. In this slide, I will explain which chapter is covering more and which chapter is covering less. So, before going to the NEET exam, you keep this diagram in your mind and go for the NEET exam. And
Continue ma'am, no problem. I'll adjust it ma'am. I'll adjust it. Just wait a second. Yes, you can continue ma'am. You can continue with the explanation. Yeah.
From physical world and measurement, you will get 20% weightage, and from kinetic theory of gases and thermodynamics, you will get 20%, and from properties of bulk matter, you get 20%. From all these three chapters, you get 20% syllabus covering from class 11. And gravitation you getting only 7%, and oscillations and waves you getting 7% of weightage covering from class 11, and from laws of motion you getting 7%, and motion of system and particles rigid body you getting 13% covering from class 11. So students, you keep this in mind and go for before going to NEET exam. So from class 11 overall you getting 40% weightage from your syllabus, okay, and from class 12th you getting 60% syllabus covering, it is, and from chapters dual nature of matter and radiation, atom and nuclei, you are getting 20% syllabus covering, and from and from current electricity you getting 23% syllabus covering students, and from electronic devices 17%, and electrostatics you getting only 7%. Magnetic effects of currents and magnetism you getting syllabus covering only 10%. From electromagnetic you covering only 3% syllabus. So students, you keep this in mind before going to prepare your NEET exam. So now I am providing chapter wise priority, for which chapter you have to give high priority, for which chapter you give low priority. So high priority means in this most of you getting 8 to 10 questions in these chapters, means mechanics you have to cover these concepts: laws of motion, work, energy and power, circular motion. From electrostatic chapter you have to cover these concepts: electric charges and fields, electrostatic potential and capacitance. You should cover these concepts under electrostatics. Okay, next optics. From optics you have to cover ray optics and wave optics. And from modern physics you have to cover atomic structure and nuclei. From thermodynamics you have to cover laws of thermodynamics. From these chapters you will get 8 to 10 marks, students, at least. From medium means you will get 5 to 7 questions from these chapters: units and measurements, kinematics and current, electricity and electromagnetic induction, oscillations and waves. Students, from these you will get at least 5 to 7 questions in NEET exam. For these chapters means gravitation, fluid mechanics, electromagnetic waves, properties of bulk matter. From these you will get only 1 to 3 questions, students. You keep this in mind. And then chapter wise I have given high weightage chapters, means overall from class 11 to class 12 I have given overall high weightage chapters. This is this one, it is from class 12, current electricity. In this current electricity, you have to get focus on these concepts, and from ray optics you have to cover these concepts, students, and from semiconductors you have to focus on these concepts, students, and from nuclear you have to focus these two, and oscillations you have to cover these two, and from thermodynamics you have to cover these two, and from work, power and energy you have to cover these two. And students, for finally I am telling you have to keep practice formulas, calculations you should be in fast, and PYQs you have to prepare more, and mock test you have to do more mock tests for NEET exam 2025, and do multiple revisions that will give you good results, students. Okay, now zoology sir will come. He will explain about zoology chapters.
Hi guys, this is zoology. This is Ramesh. I'm gonna explain about 5 topics during the limited time. How we can preparation more going to take this. Like guys, it is a trend downline of decade. What NTA people has to follow the weightage of each chapter. Okay, every chapter certain percentage of weightage. Of course, it is not accurate, but we have to follow the trend. Okay, according to the trend, diverse like NCERT 11 chapters or in the zoology, diversity living world, it is about 10% weightage, and as well structural organization 5% weightage, and human physiology it is about 20% weightage. Does it mean how we calculate this weightage? According to the conceptual, like what are the importance in your future, they allocated, I think. Okay guys, and if come to the NCERT 12, like reproduction it is 9% weightage, and genetics and evolution it is 18%, biology in human welfare it is 2 to 3%, and as well ecology 10%. Okay, yeah, come to the next slide. Yeah, guys, look into this. Diversity in living world, it is about 10%. It is about 10%. If come to this chapter, there is a like topics living world and animal kingdom. You have to go animal kingdom, especially in the NCERT. There is like they mentioned the examples on some images of the species, right? You have to focus on this. Okay, what is this? This is like animal kingdom classification and examples, real-time example. It is very easy if you focus on examples. They can ask you match the following questions in this topic. Okay, and there is an important on examples, especially examples. There is a platyhelminthes, nemathelminthes, phyla. Okay, every phyla, what are the organisms like species important? If come to the platyhelminthes, there is a digestive system first evolved in the platyhelminthes. There is a question come from the like digestive system, like which is ask helminthes or ask helminthes. There is a digestive system first developed. There is a question relevant digestive system mean coelomic activity. Okay, yeah, what are the coelomic? There is a table in the NCERT. You have to follow the symmetry, coelom and structural organization levels, level of organization. Each example where is the first started in the file. Okay, come to the next slide. Guys, it is like morphology of anatomy of the animal, like animals, it is 3% weightage. In that animal tissue it is very easy, that is IL topics in the types of tissues. Okay, and as with cockroach, guys, last couple of years they are asking cockroach. Okay, cockroach, it is the diagram based questions, and as well there is a digestive system, respiratory system they can ask. Okay, and as well this is the human physiology. Human physiology, if come to this, it is high yield topic, and you have to focus complete. There is no shortcuts in this. You have to starting point to ending point, you have to read. Okay, this is the tough and conceptual base, and as well they can ask you out of the NCERT. Come to the chapter reproduction. They did ask previously question ZP3 protein. Okay, this is the word you cannot comes under the like NCERT book. So you have to read thoroughly what is ZP3, Zona pellucida, right? So likewise you have to read in depth. This is the physiology topic I did. Maybe it will come the questions 20 to 20 about 20 questions, current trends they did ask. Okay, and as well next chapter, human reproduction and reproductive health. This is the reproduction chapter, very tough, guys. Most of the aspirants are feeling like it is time consuming, but it is accurate if you track the questions. Guys, just observe it. If the questions are topics are very tough, the questions accurately we can find out. Mean the framing of the question very easy. But if the topic is very easy, they can make confused questions. That is the strategy of NDA people. Guys, you have to focus, okay? And come to this reproduction, like hormonal regulation, especially hormones, like male gametes, female gametes, how they produce, okay? This kind of hormonal questions coming from the reproduction. Reproductive health. Reproductive health, there is what kind of diseases going to take place in the reproduction. This is the best strategy you have to focus, okay? And as well, evolution, guys, it is the big chapter, and as well it is the drive, and as well some areas if you focus it is very smart, okay? Just it is little consume time if you focus particular topics, like it is Hardy-Weinberg principle. It will take last couple of years they did ask from this topic only, and Lamarckism, Darwinism, and like these analogous homologous concepts, okay? It is very little, it will take only hardly it will 1 day, okay? It is very easy. And as well, human health and disease. It is very light weightage, but you don't skip anything. Like maybe this year they can ask from this chapter, okay? Don't skip this, okay? And this is ecology. Guys, it is hardly, most of my previous students telling that personally, it is looking easy chapter, but to cracking the question very hard. Population interactions, they confuse and match the following question. And as well, there is a population growth curves. This is the most important, guys. Most of the students they can skip because of it is not interesting topic like physiology, and as well it is high yield. Don't skip it, okay? You have to practice more questions from ecology, okay? This is good for you. And guys, just listen. Actually, zoology is the eye production, okay? Eye production, we can class up to the 170, okay? If you are programmed, if you are planned like this, okay? Within limit of time, you have to put focus on this, okay, guys? And it is all over, guys. If any doubts on anything, actually we have to make you something better for you guys with this. Thank you so much.
Okay, students. So let us look into our chemistry part. Till now you have finished. We have discussed about botany, and the next physics, and the next zoology. Now let us discuss about chemistry here. So you know, chemistry is one of the rank deciding subject, right? Okay. So most of the students, like NEET students, will face difficulty with either physics or chemistry, right? Okay. So let us make it easy and let us make it so simple here. Okay. So in this short duration of time, how do we improve our chemistry marks, our chemistry score? So let us simplify this. Okay. So now I have brought complete syllabus of chemistry for NEET, okay, from the NEET brochure, okay. So here I have segregated class 11th topics and 12th topics. I think you are already aware of all the topics or the chapters which are given in the NCERT book or in the NEET syllabus, right? So here for this particular chapter I have segregated them as I have segregated them as based on their priorities. Okay, so based on their weightage. So let us look into those weightage of this particular topic. Okay, so here, so I have made some analysis of previous year papers and we got this particular slide for you. So here, you know, one of the important topic for NEET chemistry is the chemical bonding, the highly weightage topic of the chemistry, right? So you may expect almost 3 to 4 questions from chemical bonding itself. Okay, the chapter is very easy and very interesting and easy to remember also, right? And easy to score. The next thing is organic chemistry. Here some basic principles and techniques. See again. So if you try to manage properly with this particular second chapter, that organic chemistry, some basic principles and techniques, and here comes, this is a 11th class topic, right? So whatever the 11th organic concepts are there, the complete GOC, if you try to digest it properly, then you can able to score very high marks in all other 11th and 12th organic topics also. So whatever the topics are there for organic, so everywhere it will be useful. Complete GOC you have to be very thorough. Okay. So the next, hydrocarbons. So once if you are clear with the GOC part, then hydrocarbons is very easy, right? Okay. Then next, from the physical chemistry point of view, we have equilibrium, which is highly weightage, and you can consider 3 to 4 questions from this particular chapter itself. Just KP-KC relations, and then next Lee-Chandler principle and its applications. So acid-base titrations, and also the next what we have, salt and salt hydrolysis questions, pH scale questions. Let us look into those things after some time. Okay. Then next, see, if you are thorough with the second chapter, you can able to tackle this aldehydes, ketones, carboxylic acid also. Okay. Then next, here we have coordination chemistry. So before studying the coordination chemistry, you have to be very thorough with the D and F block elements, right? Because coordination chemistry, there we will be mostly focusing on what? The complexes of D block elements only, right? So if you are thorough with the D block elements and F block elements, your preparation is very easy for coordination chemistry, right? So okay, I will explain you everything in detail with simplest way possible. Okay. So the next we have P block, complete P block for 11th and 12th. So just follow for this particular P block, you just need to follow NCERT only. Okay. So the next we have electrochemistry. So again, before going to electrochemistry, you have to study what? Redox reaction. So from the 11th class, redox reaction, the next you can connect it to the electrochemistry part over here, and we may expect 2 questions from this chapter. Okay, so like this, I have mentioned all the topics, and look here. So one I have highlighted over here with mole concept, which is the first chapter of 11th class. That is what? Some basic concepts of chemistry, right? So this, whether the questions are coming or not from the chapter, that is not a matter here. So if you are thorough with this particular topic, mole concept, your complete chemistry will be so easy for you to understand, right? So we may expect 2 to 3 questions either directly from the mole concept or interlinked questions or these topic based questions. Okay. Then next, so here I segregated complete chapters based on their priorities. Okay. So here some of the high weightage topics from each chapter I have mentioned over here. So look at here, this first one is what? Some basic concepts of chemistry. Okay. So in this, you just focus on mole concept and numericals based on that particular topic. And the next one is stoichiometry calculations, like how much amount of product is obtained from the given particular reaction or the reactants, or what is the percentage of yield. All those things comes under this stoichiometry calculation. And the next, empirical formula and molecular formula, relation and questions based on that. Then next, we have structure of atom. Okay, so here structure of atom, see mostly, so we may expect completely from this Bohr model, numericals based on the Bohr model, or theory from the Bohr model. So what are the numericals we may expect? Whether calculating radius, velocity, energy and energy difference. And the next what we have? Spectra, hydrogen spectra, and what are the limitations we have? Okay, so the next, what are the early developments? You can look into it also. The next, probability distribution curves are there now. So for each atomic orbitals, we will be seeing the probability distribution curves. Then next, one more thing is quantum numbers here. So quantum numbers, that is a very easy, within seconds you can answer the question from the quantum numbers. So you have to be very thorough with these topics, or you can take help of from our side. Okay, then next we have classification of elements. So there you will be studying the basic things like writing electronic configuration, which you are doing it from last like 10th class itself. Okay, then next periodic trends, like what are the periodic properties we have. So what are the trends in that, and what are the factors affecting these periodic properties. Okay, then next, chemical bonding. As I already told you that one of the most easiest and highly weighted topic is chemical bonding, where you can cover hybridization and valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. From there we can expect shapes and geometry. Without these questions we may not find any question paper from NEET. Okay, so the next, molecular orbital theory. The next, the bond parameters, bond order, bond length, all those things. The next, dipole moment and Poisson's rules. The next, hydrogen bonding and its application. Like we have applications like what, boiling point, melting point, all those things now. So we can expect from hydrogen bond. Okay. Then next, what about resonance? So this resonance you can study over in this like chemical bonding as well as in chemistry, organic chemistry part, right? Okay. The next thing is, fifth chapter is chemical thermodynamics. Okay. So these are the things like extensive, intensive properties and heat of the reactions like formation, combustion, all those things you have to look into it. Okay, so we will be providing these complete slides to you, so you can access them and you can repeat, like you can look into it. Okay. Then we have redox reactions over here. So try to calculate, try to understand how to find or how to calculate oxidation numbers or change in oxidation states and its applications, and try to learn how to balance a redox reaction. There are many questions on this balancing a redox reactions. And the next, volumetric analysis. Okay, like how much amount of oxidizing agent can be oxidized or can be oxidized or reduced in a given particular reaction. Like those kind of questions we may expect. Then next we have electronic displacements. Already I told you how to discuss, like what are the electronic effects we have, inductive, mesomeric, hyperconjugation, electromeric, all those things you have to study and you have to apply for the applications whatever we have, like carbocation stability, carbanion stability, free radical stability, all those things. If you are thorough with that, you can play with haloalkanes and haloarenes chapter as well as alcohols, phenols and aldehydes, whatever the organic part remaining. So hydrocarbons I already told you. Okay, the next P block completely focus on NCERT. The next 12th class NCERT, electrochemistry, you just focus on this NCERT, whatever the topics we have here, Nernst equation and electrolysis, what are the products obtained at cathode and anode and how much amount of product obtained, it means qualitative and quantitative analysis, you can say. Okay, so here thermodynamical aspect in the electrochemistry. Okay, the next Kohlrausch law. So Kohlrausch law questions are very easy and interesting to solve, so we will look into it later. Okay, so the next here we have solutions. So solutions, what we may expect, like Henry's law, we have solubility and Henry's law. And the next we have ideal and non-ideal solution. See there are many example or previous year questions on ideal and non-ideal solutions, right? You can refer to that. See, it is very easy to understand. And the next, colligative properties. Out of whatever the colligative properties we have, we may expect at least one question from that. The next, this, what is the use of Van Hoff factor in the in the colligative properties. Okay. Then next we have chemical kinetics. Okay, so these are the first order rate equation, finding the order of a reaction, molecularity of a reaction, and what is the effect of temperature and the rate of reaction. That is what Arrhenius equation we have. So these things you have to be focused. Then next, D block, you can look into these particular topics. Okay, the next, coordination chemistry. Again, it is very interesting and easy topics. Whatever I have mentioned, you should not skip these particular things. Okay, so finally we have from organic chemistry. So here we have a named reactions. You should not worry much about named reactions. Whatever the easiest way you can able to follow them, you can do that, or you can reach us. We will make you to understand them and remember them very easy manner. Okay, so the next SN1, SN2, E1, E2 reactions, they are very important. We know. And what is this? Like organic, practical organic chemistry part is there now. So like POC we are saying. So there we will be using some distinguishing tests, right? So that can be also covered under this particular topic. The next we have biomolecules part. So here we can study complete data about this particular like carbohydrates, amino acids and everything. Okay, so that's it about the chemistry part. Okay, if you have any queries regarding the discussed things, you can ask us in the comment section, or you can directly reach us to the provided mobile number. Okay, now let us welcome all our faculties once again and we will discuss further.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So after knowing about all the concepts from botany, zoology, physics, chemistry, here we are with a master plan to deal for the crash course, which is starting from March 24th, and this is a 40 days program. This is what a 40 days program wherein you can access this both in offline mode and online mode. Here you can get the daily test practice papers and 5 to 6 part tests and all the 10 mock tests for free both in offline and online, and you can reach out us onto this given mobile number. Ma'am, please come over here and say yes, you can take this mobile number and you can also drop a message in the comment section. We are here with that master strategy. Trust us, and we are going to make your dream come true. Thank you. Yes.